I'm not changing my kid's diaper when they pee. I've never done that. Do you know how expensive diapers are? I have friends and people that I know that like, oh, they peed, we have to change their diaper. And I'm like, they peed? Literally, I will change his diaper if he poops. Or if it's like a very full diaper. Diapers are so freaking expensive. I'm not out here changing his diaper every time he pees. I would be going through 30 diapers a day. Not to trigger people. Cutting things up in really tiny pieces. Now, am I gonna give him a bunch of like choking hazards? No. But like honestly, I'll give him a strawberry hole like this.
Nope, this is not just a boy, but many are terrified. We are watching the final seconds of him, and his life is being taken right now. People were terrified after TikToker Nurse Hannah and her family were allegedly ending the lives of their own young ones in front of us, with many claiming the boy has been calling us for help, but it might now be too late. A haunting viral video shows what allegedly appeared like the boy was cowering after being handed a box at a supermarket, with many parental experts saying it was not a flinch, but seemingly a brace for impact. Other parents went viral after showing what would happen if they did the same thing, with many of the videos showing babies laughing or not flinching at all, leading many to believe that something sinister is happening behind the scenes. Other Nurse Hannah videos went super viral showing the boy's hand being flicked, with even showing the boy another time taking a french fry and then allegedly watching to see not only what their reaction was going to be, but what they would do to him. Nurse Hannah has gotten in trouble before for allegedly having 17 dirty diapers around the house, and many allege this situation might be much worse now.
When I called out Nurse Hannah for her 17 nappies, you guys cooked me. You cooked me, you told me, oh, no, you don't know about postpartum, you don't have no plan, no. But truth is, when people portray certain behaviours, they have escalation points, right? And way too many of you as mothers, you like to excuse other people's neglect towards their children because you like to rally together and make excuses. That's why you lot all started a trend. My 17 nappies, my 17 nappies, my 17 nappies was this, my 17 nappies was that. I even saw one woman talk about her 17 nappies. Next minute, the social services was at her door. You know why? Because your 17 nappies was neglect. But you got other people coming along and aligning with you like, oh, my 17 nappies. Oh, yeah, I had 17 nappies, making you feel like your neglect is okay. And this is what many of you do as mothers. We're going to call it for what it is. Many of you love to rally together. Instead of you say, you know what, sis, that is actually wrong. Let's try to be the best mums. You like to enable and make an excuse. Everything has a diagnostic or something. No. Call it for what it is. She was neglecting her child when she had him walking around the house, picking up shitty nappies because she had left 17 of them around. Now, as a parent, it is your responsibility to make sure all your children, the ones you just had and the ones that were there prior, are catered for. That is your job, to make sure they're safe, safeguarded, catered for, loved, nurtured, and etc. Your child walking around the house with 17 shitty nappies is neglect. Also, with all that filth around, is neglect. Call it for what it is. The same speed and pace you picked up that camera to let us all know that is the same speed and pace you should have booked in a cleaner. You should have booked in help. Yes, I know it's easier said than it is done, but that is your mandatory role to do for that child you have, because he has to walk around that environment. Now you lot have seen her portraying abusive behaviours. You're seeing the child flinching and that, and you're outraged. She was this type of mum from before. She's been this type of mum. When she sits down eating the takeaways with the baby on her lap, acting as if the other child might not want a chip. Nurse Hannah has been doing these things. And this is why I say, you see, when I see people in certain medical professions not nip these traits in the bud, yeah, I start to realise they go into these roles to nourish their narcissism, their psychopathy, their sociopathy. I'm telling you, she's portrayed these traits. But you lot let it go over your head because you all came on the internet to rally with her and make her think, make everybody else think that the forms of neglect that they portray is normal. You lot all acted as if you was joining in it too. My 17 nappies, my 17 nappies. Some of the things that you lot was coming on here announcing when you're parents of multiple is absolutely fucking disgusting. There is postpartum and we know it's hell in there. We can never make no excuse. It can make some women do the most unthinkable things. And I understand. But you still have a duty to those other children. They don't deserve to be suffered and subjected to fuckery. Like, some of you really like to normalize the things that you feel like kids should be resilient to. Do you not notice that's why there's a nation of us that are fucked in the head? BPD, bipolar, this, that, the other, PTSD. Because people made our parents think that the fuckeries that they was exposing us to was normal. It's not normal. That's my take.
Here's an update regarding Nurse Hannah. A lot of people reported her to Child Protective Services. A lot of people also submitted all of the videos as evidence before she deleted them. And as someone who used to be an investigator for Child Protective Services, I'll tell you what happens next. So we're probably not gonna know anything about what happens next. And this is because Nurse Hannah is entitled to privacy. Just how if Child Protective Services was to knock on your door right now, no one is entitled to know about your case other than you and maybe if you tell somebody. But unless Nurse Hannah comes out, those are my kids in the background, I'm sorry. Unless Nurse Hannah comes out and tells us directly like, hey, this happened, we're never gonna know. Child Protective Services is not gonna come out and say, hey, this is what we did, because privacy. I know a lot of people do not trust the system and your feelings are valid. The system does fail a lot of children, but the system also does do a lot of good. I saw both sides of the coin while I was there. Like I said, I'm just keeping it real with you guys. I do not see James being removed, and that's because in order to remove a child, the child has to be in imminent danger. Child Protective Services has their own definition of what that is. More than likely what's gonna happen is an investigator is gonna go to her house, do a home assessment. They're also going to assess the child and the family as a unit. And they're going to make a determination based on what they see. But I do not foresee this being a removal, okay? Unfortunately, Child Protective Services needs a lot more than this to remove a child. And more than likely, they're gonna talk to Hannah and the husband, address all of these concerns, tell them to change their behavior, to no longer post that kind of content. And I'm gonna go ahead and assume that somebody, an investigator, already went out to the house and talked to Hannah. Because as you guys can see on both of her pages, she has two pages, one with like 270,000 followers and another one with like 100,000 followers. And she stopped posting content where she's doing the concerning things she was doing with James, her 2-year-old child. She stopped posting those kind of videos. She's cleaned up her page. She's now doing more content based on her. She's not showing her children as much. That's because CPS already made contact with her. When I had cases like this, and it was like social media related and I had to go out, like the parents will automatically like stop posting. My hope is that this entire situation is a wake-up call for Hannah and her husband to change their toxic behaviors towards their children. Also, if Child Protective Services determines that these people need parenting classes or resources, they're going to refer them to that. And it is not in the best interest of Nurse Hannah to continue to get reports from CPS, to continue to be investigated by CPS, because she can lose her nursing license. So like I said, I'm hoping this is a wake-up call. I'm hoping she's going to see how all of these toxic behaviors affect not only her child, but also her license, her livelihood, and how having a platform is a privilege that I personally believe she does not deserve to have. But that's just my opinion. For everyone who contacted CPS, you did the right thing. As always, if you suspect that a child is a victim of abuse, neglect, or exploitation, Google Child Protective Services Department near me, call and make a report.